Welcome back to the Morning Show here on the Rise News. Now it's now time to review some of the headlines of today's newspaper. And we'll start it off with This Day. And the big headline there reads, Sultan, Okoh, Nigeria, a secular state, no religion is superior. Now, of course, the writer there says statement that gives impression of religious dominance, superiority in the country is reprehensible. Of course, this is almost even coming on the back of the particular interview we actually had with Mr. Swani this morning concerning that particular bill trying to restrict the curriculum and the curriculum of Christianity here in Nigeria. All right, the Sultan of Sokoto has actually spoken, and he has actually said no religion in Nigeria is superior to the other. All right, above the headline there, and one of the windows there says, grant Emefiele's lawyers, family, access to him, court orders the DSS. It is constitutional. It is his constitutional right to actually get this. This is what Justice Mohamzu is actually stressing. So that is actually big, because we know right now the former CBN governor is in the eye of the storm, and at the moment the court has actually ordered the DSS to give him access, to grant access to his lawyer, his family members, and those concerned parties. But my big question is, why is it that usually when the DSS arrests people, I think the first thing that a lot of things we hear is the violation of their human rights. It should not be. It should not be. And several of these things have been swept under the rug. We should not be.
Definitely. All right, then we move on to the Saturday Punch. The headline story there reads, Emefiele clocks 7 nights in custody. Bawa answers bribery, assets, and sale questions. Says there the suspended CBN governor begs court for freedom, gets nod for lawyers and family members' visits. Just coming off of the story there on this day. So it's looking as if he actually has been approved to get a visit from his family lawyers, from his family members, and of course his lawyers. It's there on page 4. Embattled EFCC boss facing probe over Matawale's $2 million bribery allegation. And remember earlier this week when the news of the head of the EFCC, the news made it to the headlines that he had been suspended. A lot of people were wondering, of course it was based off of the abuse of office. But at that point in time, we didn't have specific charges that were leveled against him. But looking at this, one of the things that they would be looking at and investigating would be that probe over Matawale's $2 million bribery allegation. Under that, we're seeing 3 years after father, mother await return of 5 kidnapped sons.
Wow.
Unfortunately, that is still the story that a lot of Nigerians are facing, those that have lost loved ones due to insecurity in the country, kidnapping, theft, and even outright murder of some of their family members. But this is a situation of a family who is waiting on the return of their children. Right there on the banner, we have a National Assembly, PDP, LP, NNPP, jostle for remaining principal offices. Very similar in conversation to what we were talking to Mr. Kola about earlier this morning, how the rest of the opposition parties how they are going to, jostle for these remaining principal offices. And of course, there on the right, a story that we just took, the DHQ defers as Asari Dokubo accuses military of oil thefts. That story can be found on page 7 of the Saturday Punch. And finally, at the bottom there, how we swam to safety after the Kwara boat capsized. Very, very tragic story that came in this week. Over 106 people who lost their lives in what many have said could have easily been avoided. Very sad news there, but some people were able to swim to safety while others were not. And it's really sad because they were coming from a wedding, which was supposed to be a very joyous and momentous occasion.
Now, quickly, the Saturday Vanguard. A big question has been asked on the headline there. Akpabio Abbas, are they democracy defenders or rubber stamp duo? Is the big question. All right, the writer there says lawyers, activists fear for our democracy when the president appoints head of legislature and the judiciary. Big question, I would actually say. And below that, the Nigeria Judiciary Commission probes 7 judges, dismisses petition against orderly and 25 orders. And just above the headline there, it says Frank Mba Chiroma promoted to DIG, 36 orders sold to AIG and Commissioner of Police. So promotions are flying left, right, and center in the Nigerian police at the moment. We're hoping Nigerian police does step up its game and give Nigerians peace of mind, so to speak. Let me just end it at that. But congratulations to Frank Chiroma and the rest of those that have been promoted to several ranks within the Nigerian police.
All right, then. So we're moving over now to the Saturday Tribune. Headline story there, same as Asari Dokubo at Aso Rock Villa, saying the Army and Navy behind oil theft. He claims his men are in charge of the Abuja-Kaduna road security. And then also another point that he did bring up was that he was opposing Nnamdi Kanu's release. He did say that he felt that if he was released, it was going to add more to the policy as opposed to bringing it down. Just below the major headline there, IMF endorses Tinubu's forex reform. Experts warn against galloping inflation. Very important. We spoke to our business correspondent Rotus earlier this week, and he spoke to us about the importance of this forex reform, and of course how we're going to now be looking at a parallel market, and this in itself should close the gap that we currently have between the black market and what we have with the CBN rate. But that's all we have when it comes to newspaper reviews today, Aaron. Definitely.
Yes. And that brings us to the end of the morning show today. Thank you for watching. I am Aaron Akirijola.
And I'm Shaiton Atigari from our entire team here in Lagos, Nigeria. Enjoy the rest of your morning and, of course, the rest of your day. Goodbye and see you tomorrow.